What's going on? You locked in with the Innovators YouTube. You already know I got the best interviews right here, man. I got the Oakland legend, man, the mayor of the city, man. I got Mistah F.A.B in the studio back for the second time. The original supporter of the Innovators movement. What's going on, Fab?
Man, enjoying it, man. Down here in La Leezy, man, putting it together, putting some plays together. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. It's been a good day. The Warriors won the championship. You know, I'm excited about that. You just went viral. You know, everybody can see Mr. F.A.B doing the interviews up there. And I gotta ask you, you know, what was that moment like?
I'm being able to join this whole championship run with the guys, man. It's like you kind of feel like one of the fellas. You know, not to marginalize myself or minimize myself as like one of the water boys on the team, but you know, in high school and in college when the water boys would be on the sideline cheering and they were a part of the team. They felt a part of the team, man. I felt like, you know, as a fan, just to be embraced and included in some of the things that have been transpiring, man. I'm just happy to be there, man. But to play a significant role that I played, as far as this is documented in the history books, interviewing the players after a championship run and actually getting some exclusive interviews that none of the mainstream journalists or, you know, were able to get. It was something to remember.
You know, this is a real. I was talking to my best friend. I said, bro, do you think they're gonna still have F.A.B do the interviews that it's not in Oakland no more? And he was like, well, shit, we're gonna see tomorrow. And I cut it off, and I see that it made me really happy because I was like, you feel me? The Warriors moved from Oakland. You know, some people didn't like that. That was like I guess a controversial thing, but for them to still embrace you and bring you on, it's like we're still the Bay Area team. You feel me?
Right.
With you there, to me, it's like nah, like. They still like staying true to their roots, though. You feel me?
Oh, I fought for that. Like, you know, at the last minute, I made a few phone calls. Like, man, are we serious?
Yeah.
And man, they pulled through, man. So, you know, the people that are responsible for having me on that podium, you know, they had my back and they went to war with their execs.
Yeah.
And we were able to pull it off. And I think they understood what it would do for not only the ratings, but what it would do for the commentary afterwards.
Yeah.
Not that they needed any validation or anything of that nature, because, you know, they're Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
But just having somebody that's certified, man, a real fan, not a bandwagoner, somebody that's been there since the beginning. It's always nice to see a familiar face.
Yeah, I mean, you the man of the people. I want to ask you this. You know, this is something I've been thinking personally. Would you ever consider running for office? We call you the mayor of Oakland. But would you ever consider running for mayor?
One day. You know, I think it's a possible task that I wouldn't mind approaching. If you ask me would I be ready right now, and I would honestly say no.
Yeah.
But in gaining political ties and making those connections with the right people that are in position right now that will eventually be people that will support a campaign, that would give me an arsenal of allies that can help me flourish. I think in a few years that could potentially be something to do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, man, I just want what's best for the city and opening up some opportunities to help people better their lives, better themselves, and bring Oakland back to the Oakland that we once knew it was to be.
Yeah. How's everything going for you besides like the music, like everything, like your life has been good?
Life is great, man.
2 years, you know, like everything's been good with you?
Life is great, man. Since the 2 years, you know, I had a son.
Oh, so you had a child, another child.
Another child, man. My son is great. My daughter's going into high school, straight A student.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
So happy about that, man. She's so smart, intelligent, and driven in what it is that she wants to do. She wants to be an engineer and an architect. So we're just gearing her up for that. To, you know, potentially go to a MIT or you know, something like that, man. One of those schools that kind of have history in propelling, you know, the world's engineers to the forefront, man. So whatever it is that she wants to build in her life, and I want to be as supportive as I possibly can. My son is growing at a rapid speed, very observant, picks up on things very quickly. And hey, man, I'm just happy, man, from a father perspective. I think that's one of my greatest accomplishments, being a father. Outside of that, the businesses are flourishing. The Dope Air store, you know, still open 4 years downtown Oakland Broadway with crazy gentrifying prices of rents and things of that nature for me to be able to sustain that as a faculty, and our staff is still flourishing and still up and running, still doing some of the same numbers that we've done in the infancy stages, which is amazing because a lot of businesses have failed, especially with this pandemic and coming out of that, especially a clothing.
How did that affect you?
Yeah, it didn't. And actually, we kept it in there, man. We stayed focused. We stayed going. And the support for the community, man, has been pinnacle. And I'm just so happy to be able to have that. Recently opened up a nightclub right across the street from my store.
Yeah.
So the nightclub is named after my mother. It's called Club Desi's.
Yeah.
And it's just a safe environment, man. We that the people can go in there and be themselves. So to be able to have that, as well as I said, the support from the community, man, that are helping keep those doors open, and man, I'm just so humble, man. I'm thankful.
Was it always a dream of yours to have a club? Was that something you thought about like when you got older, or what?
It was a dream of mine to buy my mother a club. That was one of my mother's dreams, actually. She always wanted her own club.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that was always something that I told her one day that I would do for her. Unfortunately, in my mother's passing, I was able to pay homage to my mother by naming the club after her.
Yeah.
And having a dream spot for her right downtown in the heart of Oakland. I know if there is a place where the spirits exist, her spirit is rejuvenated in happiness, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
And but in my heart, she will live on forever, and I know that I'm doing what I promised her that I would continue to do.
Yeah. One, congrats on the club, and it's super dope that you did that in honor of your mom. How I want to say, like, what are some of the challenges and maybe that you face when you are trying to have a business in downtown Oakland? Like, have you faced a lot of challenges with doing that? Like, I'm sure you have. Like, how do you deal with that? How do you work through that? How have you figured out and maneuvered through that? It's probably somebody else that wants to be able to do that one day.
There are a lot of challenges. You deal with city guidelines. You deal with permits. You deal with restrictions, fines. You deal with the lack of parking, things of that nature, that can affect your business. And then you deal with the people, man. You have to have people skills to run retail businesses.
Yeah.
And anything, if your business is something that is a reflection of the people, and it's held in the hands of the people of how good your business will do and can do, man, you have to have people skills, because you deal with all walks of life. I'm talking about those that may be mentally ill, those that may be the aggression, those that lack understanding. You deal with people from all walks of life, man. And hey, man, you have to have a staff that knows that has to be people patient, cultural patience, and other things, man. So those are a lot of the challenges that are stifling at times, and it can stagnate one if you allow it. But we've been able to pull through, man. We've been able to move forward. I will always give credit to the support of the people.
Yeah.
Because without the people, man, our businesses, they fail. So the people that have been very supportive to the Dope Era, man, listen, you are appreciated beyond understanding, beyond belief. I am so thankful for you. So, continue to keep that lit.
Yeah. You just dropped a project recently, Black Designer. You are a Black designer. What was the mindset for that project, and what did you want to get to the people with that?
Black Designer, when people initially see Black Designer and associate me with a clothing line, they automatically think that I'm talking about clothing. What I wanted to prove to people and show people is Black designers, the last thing I'm talking about is clothing. I'm talking about designers of agriculture. I'm talking about designers of culture, designers of this realm that we live in, that we're existing in right now, designers of education, curators, creators, those that have opened the door for us that didn't even know that they were doing it. When we talk about the civil rights movement, the blueprint for that was designed by Martin Luther King and many other followers that were actually opening up the doors for designing a blueprint on how to approach and stand up against the injustices that our people were facing. When we talk about George Washington Carver and his creations in science, those are black designers. Malcolm, Marcus, Frederick, Harriet. These are all black designers, and many of those that have remained nameless because their ideas and inventions have been stolen. And those are the black designers. And I wanted to be able to pay homage to them, but also make music that was a reflection to be put in that lineup of saying, here it is, a young boy who comes from the dungeons of poverty, parents on drugs, expected to not succeed to the level that he has succeeded, has passed all expectations, still on still on the forefront, still risking it all, still outside every day, designing a blueprint for the next generation to follow, to change the narrative.
Yeah. No, I knew it was bigger than just clothes by the names on the project.
For sure.
You know, and why did you decide to name the project after specific? I mean, the songs after specific people.
I just wanted to highlight those individuals. And those were individuals that, to those that may not know what we're talking about, the project Black Designer, the titles of the songs are named after black designers who I've idolized, who I've learned from, who I studied, those of some who many may not have heard of before.
Yeah.
But they're black designers, and I wanted to force the hand of the listeners for them to go do research.
Yeah, I get, nah, definitely. I would, because they're gonna look at me like, oh, I don't know who is this.
Yeah, like, who is this person? Yeah. Why is this song named this?
Yeah.
What is the significance of naming the song this? And it pushes the hand of those to say, oh, this is who Elijah Muhammad is, or this is who George Washington Carver is. Wow, I didn't know this is what he did. Who is Bessie Coleman? Who are these people? Yeah. And when you allow people to put themselves in that where they have to question and they have to learn, then the research has to be done. So I just wanted people to do some research.
Nah, I thought that was super dope. I feel like I'm always big on things that go out and make somebody think after.
Right.
And I feel like that's what that did, which I thought was dope. Just to sidetrack a little bit, of course, anybody who knows you and knows your history, you've been around music for a long time. You've like many years. Oh, I mean, maybe what? How many years would you say you've been in the rap game officially? Because I want to say over 25, but probably longer than that.
And okay, so in the preliminaries, when we talk about like middle school, high school, making tapes, selling tapes at school,
yeah,
we was doing that.
Yeah, so I mean,
so like 15, 16, we was doing that. I was doing that.
Yeah.
So drafted in the league, like, you know what I'm saying? A 22 piece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I graduated high school 2000, dropped a project. So I say about, a 22 piece. Yeah. I got about a dub in for show officially, where it's like, okay, you put a record out, you got a barcode, you scanned it, you got, you charted.
To you, and this probably be a hard question, but what is in your opinion, your best project, and what's if it's not different, what's your favorite project?
I like the Son of a Pimp one. That was my introduction to a lot of the fans.
Yeah,
I think one of my biggest songs is on there. I think my biggest song, New Oakland,
yeah,
is on that project. But the innovativeness on that project was at a time that nobody had together a project in a long time like that
yeah,
project. Just the variety, the versatility,
yeah,
and I was still a young kid at
yeah,
that time. That was my life up until that moment.
yeah,
You know, that was everything that I was going through, all of the dreams and everything kind of like released at that moment. Son of a Pimp 2, I hold pride in because here it is. I was able to put together $1 million project with no budget. Like
yeah. That was
when you look
I would
when you,
have to be up there, Fab.
when you
That was a great one.
when you look at that album, we're talking about. Let's talk about from a label point of view. If I'm an A&R at a major label and I get this project and I look at the back and I'm looking at the producers, I'm looking at the features, I'm like, what label put this album out?
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm really like, who organized this album?
yeah,
Who did this? And I don't think that people recognize the work that I put into that project. Like, that project is Kendrick Lamar, Lupe Fiasco, 2 Chainz,
yeah.
Snoop Dogg, Schoolboy Q,
Currency, Boosie.
Currency, Little Boosie.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Bun
somebody.
B,
It
Tech Nine.
it
Like
was
what?
somebody from every region of the states
Yeah,
in the music game. That was like, yo, that was somebody though, not like
yeah,
mediocre or
yeah,
like these were people that are on fire at
yeah,
that time.
yeah,
Producers, the business, which were coming off multi-platinum records that they had just recorded. Like, you know, My President is Black,
yeah,
all of this stuff for Drake. For Drake, they did.
yeah,
I put foot into that project from an A&R perspective.
yeah,
And I just felt like I felt as if a major label would have put that album out. That would be an album that would be the blueprint for a complete project.
yeah,
So I like that album, but you know, I love me. So I'm always fond of everything that I do. Like I'm a fan of me. I love me.
yeah,
And that's just for the times that many people didn't love me. I had to love myself.
yeah,
So my confidence and my self-esteem was never wavering.
yeah,
So I had to learn to love me more than usual, which I suggest to anyone out there. Because when they don't love you, that affects your confidence if you allow it to. But if you hone up the situation and say, man, I love me, so I don't care what y'all think about me. Hey, man,
yeah,
you're going to have that level of confidence that's just going to be like, bro, you got to love this dude, huh?
yeah,
Regardless.
yeah,
So, you know, to answer your question, man, I love those 2 projects. I love Black Designer.
yeah,
And the Thug Tier series. I think the Thug Tier series was some of my deepest music because it was a time where I finally got a chance to release some of the things that I was going through. I hadn't voiced my mother dying, my friends dying, and some of the things of the parenting. And those were things that I hadn't addressed at that level. And the Thug Tier series kind of described that.
yeah,
It was me showing not only vulnerability, but accountability.
yeah.
And so, you know, there's a multitude of things, man, in the music and my catalog that I've done. I got over like 60 albums
I know.
on iTunes.
Which is honestly insane.
Yeah, it's working.
But it's a testament to you. I did want to ask you, you know, with dealing with your mom, like, how were you able to handle that situation? I know y'all had a very close relationship. You know, I got a very close relationship with my mom. I mean, she's still living, of course, but like, you know, sometimes you think about those things, like, damn, like how am I gonna continue to go on and not have that person by my side? You know?
Losing a mother, losing a parent, a guardian, is one of the toughest things that anyone has to go through. And depending on the proximity of you guys' relationship, that furthers the damage. Me and my mother grew up together. My mother had me when she was young. And so we experienced a lot of things together. We experienced being homeless together. We experienced having to hustle together. We experienced the ups and downs, the drug addictions. You know, and in a lot of interviews, I always just talk about her drug addictions in the infancy stages when I was younger, you know, that she later got clean from and never used drugs again. But I never talk about my drug addictions. You know, my drug addictions of being addicted to syrup and, you know, some of the things that the addictive personality that I had, you know, that she had to help me deal with. And so we dealt with a lot of things together, collectively. Yeah. And we were close like brother and sister. Still knowing that it was a line that this is my mother. Yeah. So the respect was never crossed. That line of, you know, respect was never crossed. But man, that was one of that was the worst day of my life. Watching my mother die and being there, her dying in front of me in my arms. Yeah. You know, you can try to prepare for it mentally all you want, but there's no preparation like actually seeing it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know, my mother was fighting cancer, and I knew that, you know, death was on the doorstep, and it was only a matter of time before he opened the door. But that day that he opened the door was like, wow. I can still distinctively remember sitting down, telling her, you know, my promises and my last rites, the last rites of saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure I take care of that baby. Yeah. I'm going to keep pushing these dreams. I'm going to keep going. I don't want to see you struggle no more. And it's okay. And that it's okay was basically saying, Mom, you can go. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. And then leaving and coming back, bro, and like walking out the room, coming back, then her dying was, you know, it was crazy. Yeah. Like I think I stayed in the bed with her for like an hour, like after she died. Like just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And man, just sitting up watching, you know, it's crazy that I'm vividly taking you back down through this road, but you know, watching the corner come in, put the cover over her, take her out, watching the, like, you know, watching them roll the stretcher out and you sitting up, I'm looking at them in the stretcher and I'm just like, God, wow, this is crazy. Yeah. Like my mama really died. Yeah. So that was the worst day of my life. The depression that comes with that. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Even to this day, it's a lot. You know, it's a depression. It's anxiety. There are times where, like I deal with anxiety bad. I don't think I've ever talked about that in an interview. I deal with that very bad. There are times that certain things that trigger my anxiety where, I might not want to do something. And somebody like, what's wrong? Like I want to stay in the house. I don't want to, it's too many people there or, you know, I don't want to be in that back seat. I don't want to be in the back of that plane. There are things that trigger my anxiety, and I'm talking about it's bad. It's bad. It's like sleepless nights. It's almost overdosing on melatonin. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like the anxiety, it gets bad. Yeah. And I try to deal with it with no, like, you know, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do stuff like that. So dealing with it sober is tough. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's tough. Sure. So to the people out there that are going through anxiety and depression, don't feel that it's not something that, you know, celebrities or athletes or whoever else people with have names go through, man. It is something that we deal with it, and it's tough. It's very difficult because people don't expect you to have it. Yeah. You know, I've canceled shows from it. I've done a lot of things. I've appearances that I've had to make up because I just like I couldn't deal with it at the time. So it's a learning battle, and it's an uphill battle, man, for those that deal with this.
Anxiety is real, and for sure, I appreciate you bringing some light to it. I have bad anxiety too, and it's like, you know, when you first get your anxiety, you don't really even know what the fuck it is.
For sure.
Like, you're trying to battle and fight through. You like, damn, like hold on, like it's like some serious I'm going through right now.
It's like playing a video game and not knowing how to beat the last character.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? When you beat in the, I remember when Resident Evil first came out, and it was like, man, how do you beat? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't you couldn't go to YouTube and find a cheat code on how to beat the last character, or even throwback dope era when you was playing Metroid and you was just trying to figure out how do you beat the brain? What is the code to beat, you know what I mean? And you're just like, wow, I'm fighting a war. I don't know how to win. I don't know how to beat this person.
Yeah.
And it's tough, man. So I'm very humble to anybody that's dealing with that. You know, any signs of mental illnesses or mental deficiencies. I don't know the proper or term to say it now. You know, everything is so sensitive, and you don't want to offend anyone. Yeah. But to anyone that may be going through something like that, man, I'm humbled because I too go through that.
No, definitely. I appreciate you for opening up and sharing about your moms and sharing about the anxiety. As far as like the new music coming soon, like what's in store in that right, and what you working on right now?
No, I'm always working. It's always some work going on with me, man. I think one of the biggest things that I'm working on right now is the Philthy show. Yeah. Okay. Where Unc at, man? He's not out here? Unc is in Baltimore right now. Okay. We're actually doing some things out there with some manufacturers, getting some new stuff that we're dealing with the clothing line. Yeah. And so he went for a couple of days. Then I think he had like a booking out there. He had like a hosting out there. So Unc is popping. Yeah, he is. You know, Unc is popping right now. The Unc and Fab show is man, it's super dope, man, because it's definitely a chance for the old fella to tell his story. Yeah. And here it is, somebody that's been incarcerated for a major percent of his life, a big portion of his life, coming out, who's been on drugs for 17, 18 years of, heroin addiction and dealing with heroin and dealing with that, man, and fighting the highs and the lows of that to finally saying, yo, I'm clean. I want to do something and I'm changing my life. So the things that he's done. And now it's just everybody has that uncle in their life that's like Unc. Yeah. And if you don't, you wish you did. Yeah. And that right there, I feel like could be like championed as the new hip hop Sanford and Son, the Urban Robin Big is just whatever it is. Two tandems that you've seen in the past with a new rendition to it. Like, so that's what we doing with that Unc and Fab show. So that's a whole we shooting a pilot.
I'm trying to get on the TV network?
No, we're going to get on the TV network.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're getting on the TV network. My cousin Marcus King.
I know Marcus King.
That's my first cousin.
I know that.
Yeah, so Marcus is switching some things with his connections and everything that he's done for what he's been responsible for. Yeah. T.I. is aboard, coming a part of him having the history and reality show TV. He knows a few insides, and we're putting together, a nice pilot for the Unc and Fab show. Yeah. And then musically, just constantly working. Black Designer 2. Then my alter egos, releasing projects for those. Stan Pablo and Fabby Davis and Hey Baby. Yeah. I just stay working, man. Dre taught me that though. Mac Dre taught me that. Mac Dre always used to be like, "Yo, bro, Cuddy, keep reinventing, Cuddy. Like every time, coming new." Yeah. I might be the Genie of the Lamb, Muhammad Al-Boo, Dre Van Halen, Dre Ackes, Dre Mack. You just keep reinventing, and you never lose creativity doing that, man. Just keep going.
What was your time like with Dre? I know you got the dope picture with y'all together. Like, what was y'all relationship like?
I don't think the maturation of our friendship kind of got a chance to materialize. He was taken so fast. Like when I got over there, it was like I think maybe like an 8-month run, 7, 8 months, that we were able to kind of like, I don't think we got a chance to magic and Kareem it. Yeah. And I watch a lot of interviews where I see people kind of overemphasize their relationships with those that have passed. Yeah. And I never want to do that. I never wanted to do that. Yeah. I met Dre. My cousin Nucci was managing him. We brought it in. B Love had introduced us. It was dope. It was, I think it was short lived though. We didn't get a chance to really, we went on tour. We kicked it. We laughed, at the crib. It was, it was fun moments. Yeah. But we didn't get a chance to Magic and Kareem it. We didn't, we didn't Steph and Clay it, man. We got a chance to, I think it was like a summer camp. It was like, we win the summer league, man. We ain't get a chance to get in the season.
Nah, I get what you're saying.
And so it was a little discouraging and disappointing, because I know that we would have been able to do some crazy stuff if we would have had the time.
Yeah.
But we're all on God's time, man, and people got to understand that. That's why you got to take full advantage of all the seconds that you get in this life, because you never know, man. So I was privileged to be able to be in the company of Dre and have the memories that I have, that we kicked it, we hung out, we did music, we recorded, we did shows. But it was short-lived. It wasn't something that was, oh, yeah, man, that was my dog for 10 years. No, it was very short-lived.
Yeah. No, y'all definitely would have did some great things together for sure. Somebody that I've seen you be around, Too Short. What like? How did y'all get connected and how did y'all meet? Because y'all still rock heavy to this day. And I was watching. I think it was like they had the show after the Warriors game. Y'all was both on there, and just to see how you talk about them, and I was like, damn, like I can see y'all really got a connection.
Now that's a connection right there. That would be the Magic and Kareem. That would be like, you know what I mean? That would be something that man, like Short just left my crib out here, man, in LA. He just left the house a little bit earlier today, and we were talking. We were actually talking about his first time meeting me, and he was just blown away. I was about 12 years old, 13 years old.
Oh, shit.
Down at my mother's. My mother ran this strip club downtown Oakland, and they would have like he was a part of this crew called the Cadillac Club. Yeah. He would always, he was a frequent friend, and if he wasn't a member, he was an official member of the Cadillac Club. Yeah. All the OGs in the East, man, ROG, FROGs, and, a lot of the OGs that, gave the validity to the town of what they were, you know what I'm saying, and who the town is. They gave the town structure and identity. And they would always go to Mom's spot, you know what I mean? And my mother would always take me down to the club. I would just be the young boy at the end of the bar. Yeah. And one day I kind of showed Too Short a picture of me as a kid and my mother and him and my mother. He was like, dude, that was you? He's like, that's crazy. He's like, well, I've been knowing you for so long. And it was dope, man. Our relationship is like, I call Short Pops, and a lot of people don't understand that. Yeah. And the reason why I call him that, because, he's fathered many of us. And he's taken me under his tutelage in the hip-hop game. And he's fathered me. He's like a big brother. He's shown me the ropes. He's shown me the highs and lows, the ins and outs, how to maneuver, how to network, the what to do's, the what not to do's. And to have a tour guide like that in life is something that's legendary, man. A lot of people don't get that. Yeah. And I'm just so thankful, man, to have the access to an icon like that. That is somebody that, when it's all said and done, people are going to wish that they gave more respect and credit to Too Short. I'm talking about people all around the world. Yeah. Who else do you know 40 years in hip hop? How many people that you could say he's been famous for a rapper for 40 years? Not many people.
Yeah, not a lot for sure. I appreciate you for sharing that. Definitely a legend for sure. Can you talk about writing for people? That's something we know you've done for a while. You wrote some hits. How did you get into that? And I sometimes I do look in the comments to see what people say. Some people question, why you say what songs you wrote. Because sometimes that's kind of, I guess, supposed to be not spoken on, I guess, but like, why do you say it? Which I think you should. I don't see nothing wrong with it. You wrote the song. You can go look on the discography and see who wrote the song. It's not like a secret, but how did you get into writing, and like, why are you not, like, I guess, afraid to say that you wrote the song?
I think there's no confidentiality in when the songs that I write, when I discuss these with the artists, they don't have any problems with me saying that I wrote the records.
Yeah.
They're not coming to me when we're writing these records like, hey, don't tell nobody you wrote this right. There have been some.
Yeah.
And I haven't mentioned those.
Yeah.
You know, I've kept our bond.
Yeah.
But there are others that are like, go ahead. I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
You know, when you get an opportunity to write for legends like, you know, the Snoop Doggs, the Too Shorts, and a plethora of other individuals that I've wrote records for, it's an honor. So for someone to tell me, don't talk about your accomplishments, don't be honored in what you've done, that's insane. Of course, I'm gonna be proud of myself. It's like winning a gold medal and not telling the world that you're a gold medalist. You know, so having that opportunity is dope. I think what got me started writing records, to those that know that or don't know, I was going through some things with local radio, and the local radio had removed all of, you know, my music from its platforms at the time, and I was sitting up kind of like stuck, like, wow, like what I'm gonna do. I had this talent of writing, as well as putting together songs, dope songs, you know, and I was like, and I had the peers of all my peers were still in position to have records done, and buzz and influence. And so with my influence, I was just like, yo, let me write a record for you. Let me do this hook. But you got to say it.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It gave, it added longevity to my career, where I'm able to, you know, live off some of the things that I've wrote before.
Yeah. But no, I think it's tight. And I personally don't really see no problem in saying you wrote the song. Like, if you wrote it, you wrote it.
I'm like, if you discuss something with somebody and be like, bro, don't tell nobody you wrote this for me. Cool, I'm not gonna tell nobody.
So if somebody, like you said, if somebody says you don't tell nobody,
all right, cool. Yeah. But I'm a songwriter and a ghostwriter. People have to understand there's a difference. A ghostwriter is when you have that understanding, like, bro, don't tell nobody else. I'm trying to get away with this. Yeah. All right, cool. It's cool. A songwriter is, look at the credits. My name's on the credit.
Exactly. Like, it's on the credits.
I don't have to hide anything like, oh, yeah, you know, I wrote that. I don't have to hide that. There's no confidentiality in that. We wrote it. People know.
It's something I saw, I think it was maybe last year at some point, but at some point, it really blew my mind. But I figured this would only happen for somebody of your stature. Your car was stolen. Mm-hmm. And you found it. And it got brought back.
That was dope.
That's some crazy shit.
But that was dope.
That blew my mind.
Listen, bro, I come outside, right? And I'm like, did I move my car? So where we from, first thing we look for is the BIP glass.
Yeah.
And to those that don't know what BIP stands for, bipping stands BIPS, bips, breaking in people's stuff. Yeah. Or breaking in people's whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for the glass like, but I know I parked right here.
Yeah.
Then I was like, damn, I left my key in the car. I was like, oh. So I do let me walk the block. Let me just see what's going on. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm, oh, man. And then I'm half embarrassed. I'm feeling, so I'm like, do I post it? I'm like, if I post it, then I got to deal with the backlash that come like, you got your car stolen. You a sucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then I was like, man, I'm finna use the power of social media, man. Let me post this car. Bro, so I post the car at like 12 o'clock. At like 1 o'clock, I get a call like, hey, bro, your car over here.
So you found out who stole it, or how does it?
No, I didn't. I didn't find out who stole it, but my car was returned and nothing was wrong with it. And that's a blessing.
That's a blessing for sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That was crazy. And then it was like another case or something like where a car got took and somebody left a note like, yo, I didn't know this was, like, I had a car parked on a tuck spot like where I be at, right? and somebody like hot wired it, took the car, right?
Yeah.
Then I found the car, and it was like they left a note that was like, "Yo, I'm sorry. I didn't know this was your car. My bad, Fab. I apologize."
Damn.
And it wasn't like it was perfect.
That's crazy.
I'd be so
That's
blessed,
crazy.
bro. Like listen, I swear to God, bro. Like God has me in His favor, and I'd be so thankful for it, man. I'd be blessed, bro. Like the things that God do for me, man. I never want to. Every chance I get, man, I'm gonna give credit and all glory, man. You know, God has done some miraculous things for me, man, and I am thankful, man. You know, to be on, like I say, to be a person that's on the front line, like I've done, even in my losses.
Yeah.
The lessons that came from them were bigger blessings. The bigger the lesson, the bigger the blessing. You know what I mean? And you're gonna have to go through some things. I'm not here to tell a person that I'm always winning, because I'm losing. I've lost. I've lost a lot.
Yeah.
In my 13 years of being a band on the radio, I lost millions of dollars. Millions. And people don't understand that. I was at the height of my career.
Yeah.
Had just signed with Atlantic Records. Had did a lot of stuff. I was at the height. A young boy.
Yeah.
Lost millions of dollars. That sacrifice is like some of the things that I'm getting now. James Brown said it. The big payback. Like, don't question my blessings. Look what I went through.
Yeah.
And I didn't give up.
Yeah. Now a lot of people would have backed down in that situation.
And so many of my peers and colleagues have backed down. So many people that started when I started are no longer doing it. Or they have jobs, or they've done other things. And I don't knock anybody that have a job to take care of his family, to provide for himself and for others around them. But I did it all out of music. Didn't do no scams, didn't do no nothing. This came off the mud. No investors.
Yeah.
Nobody, no dope boy standing behind me, putting some money behind me. Yeah. No, none of that. No. And I'm not knocking nobody that did any alternative routes to get to where they are.
Yeah.
But when you look at where I stand and the road that I took to get there, dude, I went through the mountains, through the valleys, through the shrubs, through the high. It was rough, man. It's been a tough road. Yeah. So when people question my confidence or why I act the way that I act, look what I went through.
Yeah.
Look at all that I've been through. Look at the obstacles that I face. Look at the adversity that I face. Look at the rappers who made diss songs about me and or who said I was this, who said I was that. Look at the people that counted me out.
Yeah.
Never once have I lost character. I stayed face and stayed down.
Yeah.
In the town, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Stayed in the town.
Yeah.
When everybody else moved away and left and did whatever they did, I stayed right on the front line. So when people question my temerity and why I act the way that I act, just look at what I've been through.
Yeah. Something it slipped my mind. We was talking about Mac Dre, but looking at a situation like Mac Dre, a lot of situations we've seen with a lot of young rappers out here. Rap is a very dangerous job. We've seen a lot of rappers get killed. Why do you feel like it's like that? And like you said, you're someone that stayed in Oakland the whole time, and I'm sure over that time people told you like, "Fab, you probably should get out of here." Like, a lot of shit happens to people in their own city. Why did you choose to stay? And I guess that's the second question. But first question, like, why do you feel rap is so dangerous? And we've seen a lot of people get killed.
Rappers have the most dangerous job and are the most underpaid because the protection of rappers is so low. Like, people see the big rappers, the Drakes, the Dirks, the Babies, the Little Babies, and that lifestyle that they live, and they act like some of the local rappers are living like them.
Yeah.
And just the whole title rapper makes you a target.
Yeah.
The things that can come with doing something to a rapper. I slapped that rapper, I beat that rapper up, I took that rapper chain, I boom, boom, I punked that rapper, I did this to that. It's like the notoriety that comes with the attachment to anything that is done to you as a rapper.
Yeah.
The street cred that it gives someone, bro, it's dangerous being a rapper, bro. It is tough. And I tell people all the time, you got to be careful, bucko. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be careful.
Yeah.
And I tell myself that as well.
Yeah.
But it's also in a lot of the content that a lot of artists put out.
Of course.
If all you talking about is killing, guns, violence, robbery, stripping, negligence, negativity, you're creating an energy for yourself that will eventually find you in frequency.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I haven't seen in the passing of artists, rest in peace to those that have passed, to many of our favorites, to those that we may not have known, to those that didn't get posted and didn't get highlighted in their passing. Yeah. But I haven't seen many artists that have violent deaths. I haven't seen their catalog be full of content talking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't seen no rappers that ain't talking about violence and stuff like that get killed. Does that make sense?
No, that makes 100% sense. I mean, nah, we don't.
Like, I'm not seeing, cats ain't talking about, bro, you know, they killed Talib Kweli.
Yeah. He doesn't bring on that type of energy.
Bro, they just shot Mos Def in the face, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying just because these artists are actually describing the lifestyle that they see around them, they're authors of their environment. So they're just narrators of what's going on and giving depictions of their lifestyle. They're just reporters. And it's violent. It's tough.
Yeah.
But to me, content has a lot to do with
of course
the outcome.
No, of course.
The energy that you bring. I was always told that you'll be protected by good fortune, by karma, by the ancestors, whatever you believe in, by God, whatever it is, long as you're walking in your phase of purpose.
Yeah.
And you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on that phase. Every individual has a journey in life.
Yeah.
And if you're doing the journey that you're supposed to be doing, you're going to be protected. But when you venture out and you begin to create these karmas or create this messing up the frequency, there are things that come with that.
Yeah.
And so, to the young artists out there, be mindful of the content that you put into the world. Be mindful of the things that you say. Be mindful of, all of those things, because that energy, man, you'll summon those demons that you'll have to face. And either they'll do something to you or you do something to them. But anything that happens, you'll jeopardize your well-being as an artist. So give yourself some leeway by continuing to stay focused on your path and being an artist and collectively growing.
You never moved out of Oakland. Why did you decide never to move? And is that something you thought about? I'm sure people brought that up to you before. But the decision to stay and, to thrive and to flourish, like, what went into that?
I love Oakland. I love my city. I'll always have like some spots, some other places. Like, I always had a spot in LA.
Yeah.
A spot in Atlanta. Different spots to move around just to have.
Yeah.
But I'm always have home base, man. I love the city.
Yeah.
I saw Sister Soldier do an interview one day, and she said something that to me will stay with me forever. She said, the only way to combat gentrification is re-gentrification. And re-gentrification is them same neighborhoods that we are being pushed out of, we must come back in and open up businesses in. We must come back in and buy property in. We must come back in and show our face. We must go back and reclaim our neighborhoods, reclaim the areas that we grew up in with thriving businesses, with people that are prominent in what it is that they're doing, standing firm on what it is. It was always baffling to me as why some of the athletes that came from our city never came back and did free camps for the kids.
Yeah.
Why rarely did you see some of the successful people from our cities? And of course, the only excuse is, man, they crazy in Oakland. But you can't tell me that you for your people if you're not with your people.
Yeah.
I watched my family members stand on the front line with my uncles, and they were Black Panthers. They were on the front line with their folks. Now, whatever happened, they was willing to deal with the consequences that came with that, but they was with their people.
Yeah.
I can't see myself not having some type of tangibility in my city where you could touch, where you could see, where you could be like, you're from here.
Yeah.
I gotta keep that. That's who I am. That's what makes me what I am.
Nah, I got you, and I love that a lot, and I agree with you 100%. Like when people think of Oakland, and they gonna think of Fab for sure, the mayor of the city. Like it's no question. And when I look at Oakland, it's a lot of faces for Oakland. And there's a lot of people that make Oakland look really good, and like anyone would be crazy not to throw your name in there. I did want to ask you, can, if you want to talk about it or not, but the radio situation. Can you say why you were banned from the radio, and how important do you feel radio is today with the digital streaming, with it's a lot more outlets as for artists now than it was back, like those years ago.
Right.
Yeah, but
I mean, just being young, man. When you're dealing with ego, you're dealing with stubbornness, and you're dealing with attention. Attention is a hell of a drug. And when you're young, man, you want all the attention. You want to be able to be the center of everything. And I think me being driven by that at a young age, forced me to say certain things and do certain things, and seek a certain position at a time where I could have been more mindful of my surroundings in radio, not understanding the politics of radio, the differences between radio ratings and all of those things, man. I became, it was just something at a time, man, where it was something I had to learn from. I'm a firm believer in everything that you go through in life is something that's meant for you to go through to learn. To tell you the truth, I think it was the greatest thing that happened for me.
Why is that?
I also said this, and someone they didn't understand what I was saying when I was saying it. My mother dying was one of the greatest things that happened to me as well. And it's a weird thing. It's weird. And what I mean by that is it forced me to grow up. It forced me to become a man. I wasn't a man until my mom died. I had a crutch. I had a cushion. Crutches and cushions in life prevent us from reaching our full potential.
100%.
Because we always know that if we fall, there's a cushion. If we need someone to lean on, there's a crutch.
Right.
When the crutches and the cushions are removed, now you get a chance to see who you truly are. When the radio was removed from me as a career, I had to go out and go see who I truly was as an artist.
Right.
What was I able to do? City to city, state to state. Was I able to hold my own? Was I able to go network? Was I able to make something of myself without that crutch, without that cushion? And I think I showed fair that I was able to do so.
Yeah.
As well as A child doesn't understand the difference between a gem and a rock. They appear to just be stones.
Right.
It gave me enough time to recognize the difference of what I was given. I think at a young age with too much influence, it'll go to your head and you'll misuse your influence. And it can drive you down a deadly road because you're young and you don't know what the power of that influence is. Let's look at chronologically the young leaders of our times and what they did with their influence. How some of it was, misguided. Huey and them was young dudes, man. Huey, Bobby, Pac, Big. Them was young dudes. We talk about Pac like he was an OG. Son. Pac died at 25.
Yeah.
These was young dudes.
Yeah.
Huey died at 38, 39. Malcolm died at 38.
Yeah.
Martin died. These were young dudes.
Yeah.
Young men. And they didn't get a chance to really experience what it is to control your influence. They just were influential.
Yeah.
So I think that banning and that stuff helped me learn how to actually deal with my influence. And it actually kind of saved my life because I truly believe that if all of those things would have came to me at that time, I would have been out of control. I would have been a mess.
Yeah.
25 years old, man, with millions of dollars, you wouldn't have been able to tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Somebody probably would have killed me.
As far as going to Atlanta, you've been spending a lot of time. People have been seeing you with T.I. and stuff. Like, how important is it for Bay Area artists to branch out to these other regions and, touch those other soils? We see you go to Atlanta. We see you go to Houston. Like, you be in L.A. Like, are those things that were always important to you? Like, or is that something that you kind of picked up on as you got older?
I think not even just a Bay Area artist. I think artists in general must know the value of networking. Allies, not adversaries.
Yeah.
You must go out and create allies, man. You in this game, being able to be, the things that you do, having to go out and go get artists to come do interviews, to be at places and to be in these spots where you're networking, saying, oh, man, I got a podcast. I want you to come get on my podcast. It's pivotal for you to go into these spots and go into these other places to bring in new talent. Nobody wants to see you interview the same people over and over and over again. Yeah. And then those 40,000 subscribers that you do have, they love it when they see new content, new people, new things. So great advisory to any artist out there. Get out as much as you possibly can and go shake hands with everyone. Go network with everyone. Don't be so competitive that you treat everyone like they're your competition. Yeah. Partnership is the new championship. The way to get a championship now is through those partnerships. Yeah. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of, going out and networking with somebody. It don't always got to be I'm better than you. I'm doper than you. Nah, man. We dope together. Yeah. We us together is clean. Yeah. Let's create that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then don't be so upset if somebody don't want to collab with you. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. I ain't mad at you. Yeah. Somebody hit you with a song, man, I'm trying to get you on a song. Like, okay, man, I charge. Man, you trying to charge me? Yeah. I'm a real one. All right. So now you mad at me?
Yeah. No, I can I agree with that. I gotta ask you about this. Philthy Rich put out a song. You, Philthy, Jay Stylin, King of Oakland. What do you? First I ask you, what's your relationship with Philthy Rich? How did y'all meet? I've been seeing y'all continuously made music throughout the years. So first, what is your relationship with Philthy Rich?
That's my brother.
Yeah.
Me and Philthy went to high school together.
Tech.
So me and Philthy have been knowing each other for 20 years.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? A little more than that.
Yeah.
A little more than 20 years, man. More than that. A couple decades in the game. I've watched his progression as an artist. I've watched his progression as a father, as a man, as a CEO now.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of him, man. I'm happy for him. I'm thankful that he's taking the initiative to do the things that he's doing. Some people may not like the way that he maneuvers or his attitude or his persona, but it goes back to talk about what we talked about earlier in this interview. If you don't know what a person's been through, or you don't know the trials and tribulations that one had to go through to get to where they are, don't judge how they currently are now. That dude had it rough.
Yeah.
That dude had, even from his upbringing outside of music, dude had it rough.
Yeah.
And he's really a good man. You just got to get past the hardened shell.
Yeah.
And if you get access to that, man, he's one of the most. He's an amazing man. That's my guy.
Yeah.
And Stalin as well.
Yeah.
Me and Stalin know each other a little even longer than that.
For real.
From growing up, going to house parties together.
Yeah.
Riding on the handlebars, going to, him being from West Oakland, him coming up to Tech, and us going to house parties together. And, Jay is my guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love Stalin, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my heart. Like, me and him have heart-to-heart conversations, like, don't have nothing to do with music.
Yeah.
Talking about being fathers, giving each other father tips, or overcoming some of the things that, that we've gone through. Having those talks about anxiety or dealing with our addictions, from drinking to syrup to,
Yeah.
That's my guy right there, man. That's my brother. And when Phil reached out with the Three Kings record, man, I mean the King of Oakland record,
Yeah.
it was to me it was an opportunity to dead the fact that, it's only one king of Oakland.
Yeah.
Nah, we all kings, man. If you listen to my verse on there, I just talk about we all kings.
Yeah.
The rappers and the people that never rapped, that was notorious in the streets of Oakland for what it was that they were notorious for.
Yeah.
So, it's not just one king of Oakland, man. We all kings, man. And, it received some negative feedback from some individuals, but, it is what it is.
Yeah. So I did want to ask you about that. DB the General, he had some choice words. Do you want to address any of the comments that he made, or?
Oh yeah, man. D is very competitive.
Yeah.
A great marketer. He did something that get a lot of people talking about him, which was it was very genius to go after some of the most popular individuals in the city, to put himself up there. Very talented dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I watched him grow since he was a kid at the youth center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Very talented dude. Do I agree with some of the things that he does? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
But who am I to judge him?
Yeah.
I wish nothing but a broadened perspective for him and understanding for him to continue to keep evolving as a talent. He's one of the best.
Yeah.
Very talented artist.
Yeah.
Some of the choices that he may make may pigeonhole him, and rubbing certain people the wrong way. Was I affected by the record? Not at all.
Yeah.
You can't curse who God has blessed, and you can't bless who God has cursed. Yeah. And there's no falsehood on earth that can destroy the reality of something that has been built on solid grounds.
Yeah.
And saying that to move forward, I wish that young man nothing but the best, man. And I genuinely say that, not being sarcastic, not being nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that in his heart, dude really got love for me just based off the fact of I've always done nothing but be a friend to that man.
Yeah.
I've always done nothing but answer phone calls, or at the height of his beef with whoever he was in, get on songs with him. Yeah. And not worry about no politics. Yeah. I don't play. One thing about me, I don't play politics. I don't get in people's business.
And I will say that's why him kind of doing that. Of course, like the Philthy, I wasn't really surprised about that. But you and Styling, I just y'all never I never seen nobody say anything really bad about you ever. So I was just like,
it was
I was like, damn,
you get into, sometimes there are casualties of war,
yeah,
and then sometimes there are associations of war.
Yeah.
If I'm in an ongoing war with someone and I see you ally with them. Now I'm at war with you,
Yeah.
and I really don't have anything about you. So
Yeah.
let me make up some things about you.
Yeah.
But my war is not with you. I don't really have no problems with you. And like I say, I don't have no problems with nobody, man. That's not the energy that I live in life.
Yeah.
I go out, man, and to show I change the narrative of my city, man. To be somebody from Oakland and be able to say, bro, I don't have no problem changing the narrative.
Yeah.
I ain't funking with nobody. I ain't beefing with nobody. I ain't running from nobody. I'm in the same place. Opening up businesses, changing the narrative, giving back scholarships, giving back to the community,
Yeah.
If, I don't claim to be the most model citizen.
Yeah.
We all have things that we are guilty of and things that we do under the light. But man, I'm growing and I don't mind showing my growth.
Yeah.
So, to close on that chapter, hey man, I wish them the best, man.
Do you have any comments on people saying that you took a picture with a guy who allegedly robbed you? People try to throw some alleged snitching rumors on you. Do you want to address that?
Never taken a picture with nobody that robbed me. I think I took a picture with the chief of police.
Yeah. People. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. I get it. You know where we come from. People always say like, "Don't fuck with police" or whatever. That's been the narrative. I mean, black people in general. That'd be our mindset. But like, I didn't really see what the bad thing was. Like you said, you're not involved in nothing. You're a business owner of Oakland. Why would people be so like rattled up about you taking a picture with someone that you know?
That I've known for 25 years.
Exactly. You've known for a long time. Like
30 years almost, really.
Like
I was like 15.
Like, I sometimes, like, I get how people can try to think this type of mindset, but that's not your
people
mindset.
Twist narratives, man. Like, when you have influence and you want to influence somebody to think the way that you're thinking, you could say anything. And a person be like, oh, yep, you're right. Yep, you're right. Listen, man. I'm trying to change the narrative for my city. I'm trying to show these young dudes, that everything that was considered poison is the things that we promoted.
Definitely.
You a killer, you respect it. Yeah. You sell drugs, you respect it. You a robber, you respect it. You a pimp, you respect it. You a prostitute, you respect. These were the people that we popularized. We made these people popular. You a college graduate, you a square. You got a job, you a square. You married, you square. So everything that was on the side of positive was something that was looked at being negative?
Yeah. It's honestly, like, when you really think about it like that, when you break it down like that fast, it's almost like you gotta laugh, like.
So I'm a business owner. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a tax-paying citizen. I know the police chief of Oakland, California, because this is somebody that I've grown up with, who's watched me since I was a kid, who's from West Oakland, who's in position to change the narrative of our city, who's in position to say, man, we're going to open up the academy for the young dudes if they want to become police officers who make close to $250,000 a year if they want to come in and be police officers. Let's go push that word out there. We're doing re-entry programs for people that are getting out of jail to get them jobs, to come back, to expunge their records and do things like that.
Yeah.
If I'm in a position to sit down with somebody like this and be an advocate for positive change in my community, why would I be ashamed to take a picture with this person?
Yeah.
Why would I not take the opportunity to be a person who can come back and be a liaison to our community? Why wouldn't I be able to say, people forget, I posted the picture.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, it wasn't like I was hiding. No, I posted the picture.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to know, dude, y'all don't got to have that mentality. People say, Fab, run for mayor. Okay, you want me to run for mayor, but you don't want me to take a picture with the police chief.
Yeah, because if you run for mayor, you would be taking pictures with all type of people.
If you run for mayor, the police chief works for you.
Exactly.
Okay, if you sitting up like, dude, I'm trying to get in and rub shoulders with the police chief, with the senator, with the DA. I want to be able to know all of these people that have an ability to change the well-being of my community. Because I want to change the well-being of my community. Yeah. I want to be influential by using my influence to say, hey, bruh, you just got out of jail? My folks is funding this program, man, that's getting people jobs as soon as they get out of jail. Man, all you got to do is go to the community and do this. Oh, you just had a baby? Oh, you in jail, but you got kids? Oh, we could create the scholarship for kids that have incarcerated parents. Bro, do you know how much money Alameda County has stocked up, that they have to give away, that they don't have any points of reference to give to? They don't have any nonprofit organizations that are on the front line that can directly affect our community because there's no relationship with the people that are on that council? Why wouldn't I want to be in that position to say, hold on, y'all got what? Y'all got $10 million to help the prevention of childhood, whatever it may be. We want to remove the juvenile hall systems, and now we got preventative things where we could take away probation and parole and get these kids jobs. We could lower the age rate of the summer jobs that kids could be 13, 14 getting jobs where they getting paid $20 an hour.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to take that?
Or who wouldn't want to be the person? I'm getting calls from the pen every day right now. It's coming from the pen. Yeah. Who wouldn't want to be the person to say, hold on, bro, this is what they got coming down the pipeline. Yeah. We in position to get it.
Yeah.
But we be so bamboozled because everything that we thought was cool was actually poisonous.
That's real shit for sure. And it really just go back to changing our mindset,
We have to, bro. Like, how is it that you get all the love when you doing negative? You a killer, you a pimp, you a drug dealer. Man, you the greatest person in our eyes. We love you. We brag about how many bodies you got. We brag about how many people you robbed. But then you get mad at a person for talking about, man, I just opened up 4 businesses. Oh, you trying to stun on us. I just graduated from college. Oh, you think you better than us because you got an education. Fab, why when you be doing interviews, you get to talking like you white or something? Articulating is talking like I'm white?
Yeah.
This is what you associate intelligence with?
Yeah.
That's how brainwashed we is, bro.
Yeah.
And it be crazy because it's like, you don't see it. And this is the initiative that you push to the kids. So now here's another generation that's going to indulge in the poisons.
Yeah.
Nigga, police officers make $250,000 a year. I know I'd rather get pulled over by somebody I know.
Yeah, for sure.
Than this white boy from Boise, Idaho, who don't know nothing about my culture, who don't know nothing about none of that, who willing to kill me because he afraid of me.
Yeah.
I know I'd be like, hold on, bro, that's Jason. Bro, what's up?
Yeah.
Man, cut your music down, man. You know you sliding through the residential, man. What you doing? You got some weed in the car? Put the weed out, man. Go have your nice day.
Yeah.
But that seems like a more comfortable pullover than, are you on parole or probation? Put your hands up.
Yeah. Now, of course.
Come on, man. So, we just got to change the narrative, man. But, sometimes when a person don't like you or looking for a reason to blacklist you, blackball you, they'll put whatever on your name.
Yeah. Now, of course.
But like I say, you got to have tough skin, man, to deal with it. It's tough to deal with it, man. When you the head guy, when you the easy target,
yeah,
everybody throw things on you, man. I've heard every allegation on my name as you could possibly hear.
How does that feel?
It's come with the territory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It comes with being in position. They said Michelle Obama was a transgender.
Yeah.
What? Just hating on Obama.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy. They said that anybody in position, especially a black man, they gonna put everything on you, brother. They gonna try to kill you before you get in that grave. So by the time you dead, nobody care because you already mentally dead to them. They gonna throw everything on you. That's why they say being in position, man, it's tough.
Yeah.
You got to have tough skin.
No, straight up, you really do, because everybody try to break you down.
Everybody, because they see you climbing, so they want to break you down. Do not abort your mission. To the leaders, to the future leaders, to those that are changing the narrative, do not abort your mission because some don't support your mission.
Straight up.
Keep going. Yeah, it's going to get tough. Yeah, the mountain seem like it ain't going to have no top to it and you just climbing. Yeah, it's going to be some people that you started with that you won't finish with. Yeah, it's going to be some betrayal. Yeah, it's going to be some untrustworthy people. Keep going. Do not abort your mission.
People, I've asked this question a couple times, but I've always wanted to get your take on it. You are a very important factor in the hyphy movement. Some people say that the hyphy movement hurt the Bay Area because it made people not take the Bay Area music scene as serious. What's your take on that?
I think most of the people that say that probably didn't have success doing it. But you can't tell me, when has there been a time where the cohesiveness of everyone in the Bay Area were on the same page and on the same accord? Where the businesses thrived, where the artists thrived, the clubs thrived, the promoters thrived, the music scene was fun. People got a chance to see locals become stars. People got a chance to see some of their favorite artists go on to do things that they never would have thought that they would do. They were on TV. We brought cameras here. We brought entertainment here. We brought major artists that was so in awe of what it was that we were doing. They were interested.
Yeah.
They were so interested that they began sampling the style. They began doing it themselves. It's like going to an island somewhere and seeing how the islanders live, and then you take it back to the mainland.
Yeah.
And the mainland says, whoa, this is the greatest lifestyle to live. And now they start doing that. And no one gives credit to the islanders.
Straight up.
That's what the industry did.
Yeah.
And then it creates diffusion on the island to now the islanders mad at each other. Oh, it didn't work for me. Oh, won't. Oh, that make us look stupid. Nah, don't say that. Because this was the only time that everybody was together. It was the only time that people was thriving, that music was moving, that it was a movement. It was a passion. But just because it didn't work for a certain few, it was tough. Because then even when it started, at the end of it, when they were trying to introduce other music, they were never able to they didn't gravitate towards that other stuff like that. So that upset a lot of artists.
Yeah.
They weren't able to galvanize the same amount of people in masses as we were. So then they say, oh man, they want us to do this. Nah, they just had a great time. That's just like saying the hippies of the 70s made the Bay Area look bad. So they just wanted to smoke, have sex, and have fun.
Yeah.
They was living life, man. We was enjoying life.
Yeah.
Living life.
Definitely a monumental era of Bay Area culture. And like, my take on it is like, you can't knock what it did for the Bay Area because it definitely put the light on us. And like, of course, it wasn't for everybody, and everybody wasn't gonna be able to make money off it. That's in any genre of music, but overall, the impact on the hyphy movement it had to be pretty fucking crazy because they're still talking about it right now.
Years later, like you could still throw a show. We're doing a hyphy nostalgic show that we're gonna throw. It's almost already sold out. You got people who still want to relive those moments.
Yeah,
you know, and certain people don't age well. because they can't embrace what age brings. There are certain people that want to stay where they are because they're comfortable there. They be in their second childhood. Some people don't want to grow up. They Toys R Us kids. Then you got certain people that don't want to. It's like the old head who's talking about how hip hop is. They doing this, they doing that in hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, I saw somebody talking about Drake's new album.
Yeah.
And they was just like, man, that's not hip hop. Well, Drake's a pop star. He's a hip hop artist that has an ability to cross over. You mad at that?
Yeah. A lot of people are.
You mad because he's an artist that can make all kind of music? You mad at that? You should be happy that hip hop can plant more seeds of opportunity for other people to go different ways.
Yeah. You know, I was talking about this earlier today. I said people in the United States might not appreciate it, but internationally, that album is.
That's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's getting played all over the world.
That's 4 a.m. in France party music. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And it's like,
I mean, but like nobody messing with Drake, man. Like Drake is, come on, man, it's big Drake, man. Drake is like, you know, come on, my dude. Like, who bigger than Drake?
rapping wise, I don't.
Who bigger than Drake? Like, you gotta compare Drake to Beyonce to be like, you know what I'm saying? You got, you know, like, bro, come on, bro.
You're on another level for
Bro,
sure.
he on a different level, bro. If he want to do, like, I really think, like what he said, Buzz so big I could sell a blank disc. he could sell a disc just humming.
Yeah.
Man, you gotta give it up to that man. Give it up to him.
Yeah.
I don't see nobody in Houston saying, chopped and screwed music set us back. And if they are, why would you disrespect your culture?
Yeah.
It's always those.
I never heard that.
It's always people with betrayal can't come from outside. Betrayal has to come from within. You can't betray me if I ain't allow you in.
Yeah. Straight up.
So it's always somebody from inside the house hanging the dirty clothes on the line on the clothespin. And like, you know, grandmama used to always tell me, boy, don't hang my dirty clothes up there.
Yeah.
Don't hang my dirty laundry. Don't put out in public what we going through in private. Let's handle that.
Yeah. I kind of want to put you on the spot here, but I want to see if you can give me your top 10 Bay Area artists
All time?
all time.
Oh, that's crazy. Too Short.
Okay.
MC Hammer. E40. Richie Rich. Mac Dre.
It's 5.
Nicotina. Spice One. Yuck Mouth.
That's 8.
Wow. Rapper Philthy.
Okay. So we got one more. And you can put yourself, by the way, if you want to.
Oh, I'm going with me. I'm in the top 10, man. I'm going top 10. I'm going top 10. Now, you know, that's an official, unofficial list, but, you know, those are just, you know, it could be interchangeable. Drew Down and Philthy could be, you feel me, the same interchangeable. Selly Cell did crazy things, and like Bila, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a hater. I'm sorry. Let me take me out.
Okay, take you out.
I'm take me out.
Okay.
Mess.
Okay. How impactful do you think Mess was into?
Huge. Like, Mess influenced so many people.
Yeah.
Huge. Like, I would be a hater not to mention Mess. When we talk about runs, Mess had his run. Mess was like,
He was on top.
so I'm gonna put Philthy as an honorable mention. I'm gonna put Drew down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just leave them there. You feel me? To me, them the same people.
Yeah.
I could keep them. But Mess's run, Mess influenced so many people. Mess had
Still to this day, like
Sack.
Yeah, Stockton, Sack, like that's like
Seattle,
yeah.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Like, Mess had a 3 to 5 year run that was just like, whoa. Like, I'm telling you, everything. You feel me? Tattoos, bandanas, tongue rings, turf politics, still explosive mode. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mess was insane, bro.
Yeah.
Mess had his run, and Mess is one of the only San Francisco artists that cats in Oakland really rode around listening to. Always had love for Quinn. That's my big brother. Love Quinn. But it wasn't as much. Like, Mess had everybody. Mess had Oakland, Berkeley, Richmond, Frisco, Fresno, Sac, Seattle. Like, it wasn't. At one point in time, you could pull up to the sideshow and you wouldn't hear nothing but Mess.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
For real. So, and there's several other artists, man, that, could be mentioned. It's just so hard to minimize the top 10.
Yeah, it is. It is tough. It is tough.
And as you know, I didn't name nobody from my generation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That has to be generational.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do eras of the Bay.
Yeah.
To get that.
No, I get you for sure.
You have to, man, because
it's so many.
So many, man. so many different things. And, you might mention me in a list and somebody might be like, what? You might mention somebody else in a list and they going, they're like, no, you got to, so you have to do eras, man, because, you got people like Mac Mall. At one time, Mac Mall was projected to be the West Coast Nas.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is Nas was young when he did the backyard, and the backyard where he's rapping. It was the same young dude. Mike Mall was the young dude, 16 years old. Pac directed his video. He did the ghetto theme. He did My Opinion around the country. Everybody was like, yo, Mac Mall. He was projected to be that version, like a West Coast version of Nas, the young dude that, had the crazy vouch for, the crazy stamp to go up and, you know what I'm saying? Like, at one time, Mall Mall was the dude.
Yeah.
Can't take that away from Mac Mall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? JT was CEO status before people even was understanding what a CEO was.
Yeah.
Him and Master P having the same deal. This was somebody that was putting out records like he was a major label. What JT did was so innovative on a CEO blueprint. You can't take that away from the Fig.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Legendary dude for sure.
Legend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Legend. His history is like, regardless of whatever your personal views with him were or whatever your involvements and dealings with, you can't take away from the fact what JT did.
Yeah.
This dude was like, he gave us the blueprint on how to go become an independent hustler. People studied him from everywhere and ran with his game. So when you say top 10, it's so difficult to do that you can't, you know what I'm saying?
And I agree with you, like, with JT, with man, some of the shit that went down, some people might not put them on there because of personal type shit, but like, I respect that you when you look at your list, you talk about influence and impact. You're not putting on in other.
I'm not getting into politics, man. Like, even my personal quarrels with some of those individuals on that list.
Yeah.
That goes out the window.
Yeah.
We talking about history. We not talking about his story.
Yeah.
We talking about history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't Bob Marr. What's his name? Marr. What's the white guy name? He got the show. Bill Maher.
Yeah.
Bill Maher. Is that his name?
What show we talking about?
The comedian. He's like he has his late night show. Is it Bill Maher?
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher. Okay, I was watching him one day. One of his family members died or whatever, and he went to the synagogue. He's Jewish. Went to the synagogue to pay, homage to his family. One of his cousins came up to him and was like, "What are you doing here? You don't even believe in God." And he was like, "Do you think that my personal beliefs would sacrifice the integrity of this family? Do you think I'm that selfish?"
Yeah.
Regardless of what, I'm not finna let my family down and tradition of being here paying respect to the passing. People have to learn to do that. You got to learn to say, regardless of what you may personally feel or what you and that person may personally went through, don't try to rewrite history to your biased perception.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
A lot of people need to hear that.
Don't do that.
A lot of people need to hear that one.
I tell people all the time, don't do that. Like, you hear somebody talk about, like we said earlier, somebody may pass. Now all of a sudden, that was your best friend. That was you couldn't live without him. Y'all was
that happen a lot.
Y'all was inseparable.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that nigga didn't even rock with you like that, bro. Like, don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't get to getting up there changing history due to, you know what I'm saying? Just because you influential and you could do that, don't do that.
Yeah.
Tell it like it was. People will respect you more for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Nah, I respect that for sure. I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to get. How did you get connected with Snoop? I want to ask you about that.
That's crazy. He's texting me right now. Look.
Damn. That's crazy.
Look, he texts me right now. He on the set of BMF right now.
Oh, that's tight.
He the pastor and on the BMF,
sure,
so he on the set of that. It's crazy. I met Snoop for the first time at the Oak Tree in Oakland. Hold on. Clay just gave the rings to the girls.
Damn.
Young boy in Oakland, man. Me and Swad. Swad is a very influential individual in Oakland, California. He used to have this thing called Throwback City, and he would be the dude who was selling all the throwback jerseys. Swad was a hustler. Still is to this day. And we was at the Oak Tree. And the Oak Tree was this infamous spot that all the Raiders, all the Warriors, everybody would go to. At the time, Snoop was going to be there. And I think I actually snuck in. I don't know if I was old enough to get up in there. And I was just like, dog, bro, I love you, but like I was like, cuz. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was telling you that, Oakland, we say blood and cuz the same sentence. I just was like, I was. He was like, Fabby, what's up? I was like, he was like, I'll be seeing you freestyling, and well, I'm the freestyle king though. Yeah. In my day. Bruh, me and Snoop really freestyle for like 30 minutes, bruh.
Oh, y'all first met?
First met.
That's crazy.
Like, on God. I called my mama and everything. Like, my mama was in love with Snoop. She was like, nigga, I just want to smoke with Snoop.
Yeah.
Bring to the, you feel me? She was like, yes, sir. And, hey, man, ever since then, he ain't been nothing but a solid dude, man. Like, that dude that showed me so much stuff in life, man. Opportunities, took me around the country, helped my brand get worldwide exposure by wearing the brand. Yeah. And he did all that for free, man. He never charged me for nothing. Never, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, dude, Snoop, hey, man. Snoop could not answer my phone call for 100 days straight. And you ain't gonna never hear me say nothing like, man, he acting funny. He won't. Man, that dude did things for me he ain't never had to do.
Yeah.
He did things for me that some of the big homies ain't even do. That
Yeah.
you would have thought
That's
that they
true.
would. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You would have thought that they would have did.
Yeah.
And all off love. Snoop is Snoop is a goat, man. Snoop that dude, man. Snoop like that's the black Elvis, man. Snoop might be bigger than Elvis now, bro. That might be crazy to say, but I
Yeah.
think Snoop might be bigger than Elvis, bro.
It's huge, worldwide,
That's
international,
Bro,
all
that's the
over.
black Frank Sinatra.
Everybody knows Snoop.
That's Snoop Dogg,
Snoop
bro.
is in all the commercials.
Bro, that nigga
Snoop on
adjective, bro.
TV. Like,
Snoop D-O-double-G.
yeah,
Like you said, like Snoop is an adjective now. Like that's the doggy dog music. Like
Yeah.
like it's the black Frank Sinatra, man. Old brown eyes, man. I love that dude, man. And I just the way our relationship and friendship is, man, it's been all love, man. It ain't nothing fake, ain't nothing superficial. Like I'm going in my phone, I'm just looking at all it. Like me and Snoop, like dude gave me the ultimate caboose, man, and still show love.
yeah,
Still show. I mean, he didn't wore the Verses. He wore Dope Era.
yeah,
You know, Coachella. He wore Dope Era.
yeah,
And I ain't even just let me get off the hype of what he's done for me.
yeah,
Look at what he done for everybody, for the coast, for the culture. Dudes like that gotta be. Here go a flower shop. I don't want to just give you a rose.
yeah. Nah, straight up. You just popped it back, and I'm already brought up the verses. But how was the verses with you and Philthy?
Fun.
Yeah,
It was a time for people to see Philthy at a position where they never get a chance to see him being funny. You know, Philthy is a comedian.
nah, he is.
And a lot of people don't understand it because he has his guard up a lot. You know what I mean? Somebody that's been through, like I say, been through a lot in his life.
Yeah,
And you know, when you go through a lot in your life, you make a vow to yourself, bro, ain't nobody finna hurt me no more. And I ain't talking about physically hurt you. I'm talking about emotionally.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Mentally. And that guard is just like, it's a protection. It's a shield. I'm not letting nobody in. I'm not letting nobody in close to me no more. And he let the shield down. And we just went up there and had fun, man.
yeah,
And he shocked a lot of people. People was like, damn, I forgot he had that many records. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We was fun. You know, I had the commercial success from some of the, you know, the radio records that I had and things of that nature. But Phil had some real dope, good music, man. And I think a lot of people sleep on his talent as an artist.
yeah,
You know, they more so reference his attributes and his accolades. You know, the cars, the jury, they like talking about that.
yeah,
But they don't talk about, man, the other stuff that, you know, he got.
yeah,
Phil got some dope music.
yeah,
And he keep getting me. He just sent me a song earlier today.
yeah,
Something super dope.
yeah,
That dude is a man. I love that dude, man.
yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Even we go through our ups and downs. We argue, we talk, you know, we might not agree on certain things.
yeah,
That's what brothers do.
yeah.
We got into an argument one day. I popped up at his house. He couldn't do nothing but laugh. He like, blood, you stupid, blood. Like, nah, nigga, what's up? Laughed about it. You know what? You know, I think that's just how I go, man. You know, it's man, certain things about man people and you know, with your brothers, man. You don't let nothing divide y'all, man. Don't let money, don't let materialism, don't let fame, don't let rumors, don't let none of that. You know, criticism. Don't let that break up bonds.
Yeah,
You know, because you know bonds are something that they're replaceable, man. If you can mend something, mend it.
yeah,
If you can have a conversation to avoid a confrontation, do it. You know?
yeah.
Do it,
I
man.
agree with you 100%.
For real.
I got a few more questions.
It's
for
all
you, fam. But how did you get into cars? What made you want to get the Lambo truck? You got some old schools. Like, what piqued your interest in cars?
I like cars. I love cars, man. I mean, who don't like cars? Who wasn't the kid in the ghetto looking at the dope boys drive by and being like, man, that's my car. When we was young, we played this game called That's My Car. And That's My Car got serious. Like, I remember really almost getting into real fist fights about That's My Car as a kid. Car ride by, you be like, that's my car. No, I called it first.
Yeah.
I called it.
Yeah.
It ain't your car, my mama. You ain't gonna never be able to have that car. Like, it got serious as a kid, man, back in the day about That's My Car.
Yeah.
And I always told myself, man, when I get older, I'm gonna buy every car that I said that's my car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it started with the Mustangs. You would always see, it was this one dude in West Oakland named B Folks. And B Folks was from Chestnut. His car game was insane. Like, at any given time, he could line up the whole block and have hella cars down the block, and everybody be like, oh, that's B Folks' car. Yeah. He had whips. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my grandmama stayed on Linden, and then me and my mama stayed off Chestnut on Adeline. So a casual walk to the store, you'll see all his cars lined up, just as a kid. Yeah. And those are things that, we grew up idolizing, man. We grew up idolizing Marlowe and the orange box Chev. We grew up idolizing, we knew dudes by their cars. We may not have knew them, but we knew their cars. Yeah. We knew Critty Bo in the blue box. I mean the blue van with the fifth wheel. Yeah. Gold things, you know what I'm saying? That's what Critty had. We knew cats by their cars. So in our city, that's what we knew. We knew Short in the Barrettes. Richie Rich and all the whips that he had, the Coug. So we knew cats by their cars. Yeah. So I was always like, man, I'm gonna go get all these cars that I once idolized. Yeah. And that's what thing with me. I love cars, man. I don't love cars. I love the concept of having the cars that I like. Like, when you love cars, you know everything about them. You could flip it and be like, I don't know nothing about cars. Yeah. I don't know where the oil go. Yeah. I don't know the difference between the alternator and the radiator. Yeah. I'll be like, I don't know much about cars. I just send them to, you feel me? Shout out to all my mechanics. Yeah. Shout out to my brother Kazim. Shout out to my cousin, Corey, Unique Sounds, who do all my music. Shout out to the mobile mechanics, to all the people that do all the stuff for me on them cars, because I don't know nothing about cars. Yeah. I just buy them and drive them. And if they mess up, I park them.
Yeah, not straight up. Just to wrap it up, is there anything that you want to address before you get out of here?
Shout out to the artists out there. I want to shout out to all the young artists that's in the Bay Area. We've been doing these Sunday sessions. These Sunday sessions is where I rent out these studios, all the rooms in certain studios, and I invite songwriters, I invite producers, and there have been several artists that have been coming to these Sunday sessions, and it's been so amazing, the music that we've been making and creating. I want to send a big shout out to all of the artists that are working, that are grinding in all of the cities right now, man. In Northern California, they really getting it off right now. Shout out to all the Stockton dudes in the Valley that's really kicking it off. They doing their thing. In Sac, in my neighborhood, North Oakland, Ice City, we got my baby boys with the TDs and the TTGs, the whole moves with them, what they move in. You got You got the 600 boys. They got their music. Like, this is just North Oakland. North Oakland scene is thriving right now with all the artists from 456. You got my brother Els that's incarcerated, who dropping a mixtape almost every month. He in jail dropping.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Every month dropping, but fire though. Sounding excellent. Yeah. So, you got the Lash movement with AJ and Ray. They doing their things. All the dudes in the North Oakland, man. Then you got East Oakland is they killing it right now. You know what I'm saying, with the music, the Project Papas, the Murdoch, which is. Have you ever interviewed Murdoch? You gotta interview Murdoch. Like, that's a Scary X son. Yeah. So the history with him alone is just. And he's so talented. You got send me. It's so tough for me to start naming people because I know I'm gonna forget somebody.
So many,
But it's so much talent in the town. West Oakland. You got the Acorn, the Baby Kane dudes, the Kane, the Surtees, the Duders, the Lingos, all of these dudes in Acorn that's really rocking the Yids. You got Kato, who may have had one of the biggest songs of the year to go off. Yeah. So they pushing their movement. You got the Ghost Town boys that's really rocking and doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a lot of talent.
To me, more than ever, like it's a time now where especially with the internet, it's a lot of popular Northern California
It's
artists.
going right now, man. It's going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dogtown, the whole third world, they pushing their movement. The bottoms, they pushing their movement. Styling continue to keep finding new talent. Everybody that Philthy is signing, all the young dudes, the Fontes, the Just Bangs, the skin, you know what I'm saying? The skinnies. Like, these dudes is working.
Yeah.
So it's some talent in Oakland right now, just in Oakland, but Richmond, San Francisco winning right now. All they artists killing them. The Zay Bangs, the Beans, the Pete's, like they working, man. So big shout out to all the artists. I tell all y'all, man, keep creating, keep pushing your wave. Don't wait on nobody. Keep going, man. And I wish y'all nothing but the best. And I want to end it. You could push poison or you could push positivity. Remember, for all the poison that you put in the world, eventually you'll have to have a sip of your own medicine. My grandmother used to say, when I give you some of your medicine, don't say I tried to poison you. So be careful of the dosages that you put into the world. Even though we try to be positive, nobody gonna be 100,000% positive. But do your best. Like Pac said, no matter what you is in the game, know that one day you gotta change. Try to find a way to make it out the game. The arrow way, not the other way. This is a super exclusive.
You already know. You locked in with the Innovators, man. We got the one and only Mistah F.A.B, legendary. Just I already can't even call you an artist. Just a legendary dude from Oakland, California. I'm not gonna limit you or box you in any way, but I appreciate you pulling up. Like I said, this is the second term. Super dope. I really appreciate you opening up and sharing. And I know this will be an interview that they'll watch from now for years later, like forever.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Big shout out to the squad. Dope era, man. You already know the families, the affiliates, and all we moving. We rocking with everybody, man. Y'all keep pushing y'all line, man. It's love.